Scrawlrbox 103. Oh, I'm so excited. Ooh. Okay. Let's pull that aside. Oh, look at that artwork. It looks like markers. Could it be markers? I'm excited if it is. Ooh, that print, okay. I am not going to pronounce that at all. Oh my god. How the hell do I pronounce that? Either way, the artwork is amazing. It's great. Okay. A CY to Brighton sketchbook. I love this colour. Like it's like a muted dark blue, like a navy. So nice. Don't know whether you can see that, but it's made out of recycled coffee cups. That's so cool. And let's open this before we open the zine, because I don't want to spoil anything. Oh. Ooh. Interesting. Like a whole pack of these? Like, that's a lot of colours. Oh my god. We have 8 pens in here. That's a lot. So these are the Pentel brush sign pens. I had a funny feeling that they would be water-based pens, but yeah, I wasn't expecting these pens though. I've never had these pens, so I had no idea what to expect. We have the sticker. Let's see. That design works really well for the stickers, actually. Looks so pretty. So these are actually dual-tipped markers. We have a brush tip over here. And over here we have a really fine point. My camera's having a really hard time capturing this fine point marker. Oh. Is it a Fude pen? It's either a fine liner or it's a Fude nib. And a Fude nib is kind of like a brush nib that's like secured all at the end, so it has the flexibility. Like, I know I should save it for the swatches, but I am genuinely curious about this nib. Okay, so this is a Fude nib. I was right to be just so curious about it. Okay. Well, I suppose since we're zoomed in, we can actually see what colours there are. So this one is silver grey. We have beige. This colour is called heliotrope. What? Looks as if the colour has kind of exploded in the cap there. Just a tad. But it's like this beautiful lilac colour. We have magenta. We have a really nice colour scheme going on. Raw umber. We have light grey. That looks more like black to me, but okay, I'll take your word for it. Dark brown. And we have dark red. It looks like a maroon burgundy sort of colour. That looks so cool. I like that. I'm hoping it's going to be like the cap, but I'm not holding out my breath. I'm going to use the sketchbook as the background colour because it's just such a pretty colour. So we have the Unpin 0.5 fine liner in sepia. That's what that looks like. I've used these before, like I have a bunch of them. What in the jelly roll looking ass is this? The Frisk white gel pen. I mean, I hope it's better than an actual jelly roll pen, because jelly roll pens are quite notorious for being absolute crap after a while. But I really hope this pen proves itself better than that. I did not think I would get this obsessed with a sketchbook, but like, I just love the cover colour. I've never seen a cover colour like this before. I usually go straight to the sweet, but this time I haven't. Because I was that curious on what the art supplies were. So we have a milk chocolate eclair. Is this going to be like the Cadbury's eclairs, but it's like a different... Okay. Oh, so it's like a... It's like toffee, but with chocolate on the inside. So it is like the Cadbury's eclairs. So it's a Walker's milk chocolate eclair. Mmm. Looks good. Oh, that's really good. Oh, if I had more of those, oh, they would be gone. They would be gone. I was just about to go on to the swatching, but I'm like, I haven't even checked out the zine yet. I'm already like 10 steps ahead of this. Oh, they do actually mention the sketchbook cover like I do. Okay, I don't feel so stupid now. Okay, this definitely this box definitely feels a lot fuller than the last few. Mainly because it's like the amount of like separate materials or something. These materials, like these pens seem like they're so versatile. Like water-soluble pens usually are quite versatile in that way. Look how smooth they got that colour. I could never get any of my watercolour that smooth. A moment of zen. Artist's advice behind the artwork. I know for a fact that I'm not featured on here at all because I just did not like this box at all, and I just did not want to post it to my social media at all. The box was not my cup of tea, but everybody else made it work. Was this one featured on their actual social media platform? Because I think I saw this one. Either that, or I saw it in the hashtags that I follow. One of the two, and I really liked this one. What inspires you? This is like a Scrawler extra. Okay. That's really cool. I like that. The fact that this artist could actually make newsprint work for them, just like, with every fibre of my being, I hated that paper. So, if you can make that paper work for you like this, hats off to you. And the challenge is hidden gems. This colour scheme of all the reds and purples in with the pens makes me think of Spyro. Like, it just instantly made me think of my purple boy. The only thing is, Scrawlrbox have sent me a new sketchbook, and I'm like, I should not be starting a new sketchbook. I already have like 3 on the go already. But this is such a beautiful sketchbook. This Frisk gel pen. I'm just using the back cover just so we can see. I think you might need to layer up this pen. But it definitely flows a lot nicer than a Jelly Roll would. It definitely is as opaque as a Jelly Roll pen, but it seems to flow better, which you would want for the experience of your pen. I'm just going to show you what the Fude nib looks like in action. So with the Fude nib on its side, you can get like a pretty broad mark, but you can also get like a super fine detailed mark like that. And then on this side, we have the brush nib. Oh, and these layer pretty nicely too. You can also write really nicely with these as well. I would say that these pens would be really nice for calligraphy. Oops. And it wasn't even in frame for half of it. Oh, these are the most ratchet swatches ever. I'm never good at really neat swatches. Oh, look at that colour. Oh my god. I was in the middle of yawning and like this I'm just tired and like I was in the middle of yawning and this colour really took me out. Oh my god. That is so vivid. That is insane. Is this that funny named one? Yeah, heliotrope. Oh, you are definitely going to be used in my notebook and my journals. Oh, magenta. These two purples just make me think of classic Spyro, The Legend of Spyro. It's given squeak. That is given some Avis red energy. Avis being my bird kingdom from my character universe. I'm really not doing well with spelling right now. With spelling, coordination, just like, yeah, that's gone out the window. That doesn't exist today. I'm sorry, every time I think Frisk, I think Undertale. I'm just in one of those moods where I'm literally just spilling all of my intrusive thoughts. We have the Unipin Sepia. I dare say you probably can get thinner lines with this as well, depending on how gentle your touch is. But let's see what we can create with all of this. Now, where do I start with this box? Because I actually really liked it overall. I thought that there was nothing missing from this box. Weirdly, the last several boxes that I've received always felt like they were missing something. This box didn't have that same impression for me at all, which was really nice. I did not have to complain about this box at all. The only thing that I have to complain about is the process of this artwork because, oh, the amount of times I wanted to scrap it. I had to tell myself, trust the process, Zoe, trust it. It will get there in the end. But oh my god, the amount of times I wanted to rip this paper out of this sketchbook throughout the sketching, the colouring, the painting. And I say painting because one thing I forgot to say during the swatches and one thing I forgot to show off is the fact that you can water these markers down and you can kind of see me doing a little bit of blending here and there. Do I think that this was the right paper for the job? Not quite. Can this paper take it? Yes, but in some places it's holding on for within an inch of its life. But I'll admit, I'm a very heavy-handed artist, and of course I am going to absolutely destroy the paper and test it to its absolute limits. CY to Brighton sketchbooks are such a staple of my sketchbook collection over the years. They have gone through college, university. Hell, I still even use them now. Basically, I'm very well aware when this paper will give up on me. For a sketchbook, it's a really good paper, and I would recommend this paper as like the minimum if you are wanting to do anything with wet mediums. And even when using wet media or adding water to your markers like I'm doing here, make sure you take it slow. Because if you are impatient, you will destroy the paper quicker. With this illustration, I was going for a very specific feel. I wanted a stained glass sort of effect going on, and I knew I could achieve that with watering down the markers and layering them up. And when I say layers, I mean many layers. I was very much winging this piece, I had no idea how the material would react with the paper. Sure, I had done some swatches, but swatches are different than actually using them in a full illustration. Using them in a full illustration will actually just show you how well they take to the paper. Something that I did not expect to love as much as I did was the colour palette. Just the contrast between the pinks, the greys and the browns, like they worked together and they contrasted each other just so well. This colour palette was just so beautiful in the end. Although beautiful, this colour palette definitely did stump me at first. At first I was thinking like, oh, Spyro, like something along the lines of that, but no, I went with my character Sophia. She is a Veronan princess, and Verona's main kingdom colour is purple, so I thought that this would go very well. Also, Verona is known as the Crystal Kingdom, and I thought Verona could be into stained glass, which would go along with the crystal theme. Just think of all of those colours just streaming through as light beams. Oh my god, the thought is just so pretty. Also, since the beginning of my Pinterest account, I have saved tons of stained glass imagery but never attempted it myself, so this was kind of the perfect excuse. I think in terms of what I was going for something very much like those stained glass style windows that appear at the beginning of Beauty and the Beast when they tell a story. I hope I achieved that. Also, in terms of the background, I debated heavily whether I should actually add to it, whether I should just leave it. I decided I would go ahead and wing that too, and in some places it succeeded, in other places it very much failed. I don't know whether this window is supposed to be inside, outside. Like, the top of it kind of makes you think it's outside, but the bottom makes you think it's inside. It's very trippy. But I definitely think that adds to the effect of this window. Going back to the art supplies, I really enjoyed these pens. I kept thinking to myself, oh, I can use these in my journal for like the calligraphy of the titles, like these would work very, very well for that. Also, just using these as pens that I could add little details to, and also the dual tips just make them so versatile. I found myself gravitating towards the little Fude nib. I know that there are dip pens with the name of a Fude nib, and they're not the same thing, but I always associate these nibs with like the Tombow Fudenosuke pens. They have the same sort of nib as those, and it's just so effective. The Unipin fine liners, what can I say about those? I love those. I have so many of those in two tones of grey, sepia, and most of all, black fine liners. I love those. As for the Frisk pen, I actually really enjoyed it. It had the similar feel to a Jelly Roll, I'm not gonna lie, but it ran a lot smoother than a Jelly Roll, which Jelly Roll has always been a bit intermittent for me. There has been a few lucky ones where I've been like, oh, I really like this pen, that's fine, but this definitely was like a Jelly Roll, but like improved. I've never heard of the Frisk dupe of the Jelly Roll, and I'm so happy that Scrawlrbox actually introduced me to it. I will be using this in the future. I came to the conclusion that this box was just really, really good in terms of size when it came to the final details. I know that some pieces of artwork it lends to the more messy style, but having that extra supply just to clean up your lines or just to clean up the artwork in general can really make it pop. And having the sepia fine liner and the Frisk white gel pen just really helped clean this artwork up. So before I show off the final piece, I thought I would show what I did with the swatches. Now, as you can see, I did several blending tests, and also just to see what colours these three blended down into. And these were the core colours for this piece. We have dark red, magenta, and heliotrope. Then we go on to the plan scribbles. These, not very good, but you can kind of see like the beginnings of the idea here. Then we have the final piece. Oh, I love this piece. It was very touch and go throughout the whole process, but the fact that I've got a piece that I absolutely love now, yes, the paper is holding on for its dear life. This poor paper at the back, like, there is a few marks that did transfer over, but that's only in the areas that are holding on for their dear life. Either way, I pushed this paper to its limits. But I will tell you one thing, the newspaper print from box 101 would not have stood up to this. It would have disintegrated upon mere mention of water. So, safe to say, I am very happy with this sketchbook. And will I be filling it up from this point on? I'm not sure, because I already have two sketchbooks on the go. This sketchbook has like really nice watercolor paper. It's my Moleskine sketchbook. It's a really nice one. This one, the Bailey J one, I do like it. It's just that the paper can be really, really smooth, and I have to be in a certain mood to sketch in it. Or I have to force myself to sketch in it from time to time. I will say, the CY to Brighton ones, I don't really have that problem in. But I will say, this sketchbook is the most travel friendly and versatile of all the ones I have currently going right now. So if I'm going anywhere and want to bring a physical sketchbook, I will probably bring this sketchbook. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys!